Hi ladies and gentlemen, nice little remix of the Detectorist there. We can't give you the credit at the moment for the birth series. We'll put that on Monday on the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine Facebook page. I'm Dave Sadler from the Big Metal Detecting Podcast. Here we go again, you say. Yes, we've had a few technical issues which we've ironed out. We've got the microphones working properly, we've got everything set up, and here we go again. This is another launch of the Big Metal Detecting Podcast. First up, I'm going to talk to my friend and colleague Luke Higgins, who we did speak to before, but obviously we missed out a little bit on what he said. Luke, how's the weekend at the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally?
Yeah, I think it's been a really good weekend. Really good atmosphere and camaraderie. I think between the Detectorists, there's been some good finds come up. Just looking over at the finds cases, a lot of Roman, medieval bits and pieces come up. Some really nice, some nice finds. But it's just a good atmosphere here. It's I think it's the charity aspect. It's a really kind of unique atmosphere and vibe on the event. It's just a nice place to be, Dave, isn't it?
It certainly is. Lovely. Lots going on, lots of stalls. Regton's LP, the National Council for Metal Detecting, Roman Remains, Treasure Hunting Magazine, ourselves, and also the charities, the Royal United Hospital Bath and Click Sargent. So lots of stalls here. Oh, and Starlight, I do apologise. So we've got lots going on. First of all, I'm going to say hello to Niall. Niall, I'm not a fan of because he actually saw the issue 3 of the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine before I did. Hi Niall. Niall is also a member, an expert of Team Routers. How's your weekend going, Niall?
Yeah, good afternoon. It's been really good so far. It's just like to thank the team. It's actually been really well organised. It's we had the comedian here last night. There's a live band. There's plenty of stalls, but we've got absolutely tons of land to get through. I've not even seen all the fields actually. So I don't know how many acres we've got, but yeah, it's just a nice atmosphere. Like Luke was saying, it's chilled out. Everyone's happy, and there's good stuff coming up.
And now there's alcohol.
And now there's alcohol. I'm on my... can I say how many I've had?
No.
No, okay. I'm on my first one.
So Niall, as I say, is a member of Team Routers. Tell us a bit about that, Niall.
Yeah, so Luke got the Routers a few years ago, and I didn't want to be outdone because we share the same permission. So I straight away had to upgrade my machine to a Routers as well. And detecting... I'm not going to say the machine I had before, but since upgrading to the Routers... I've been using it now for 2 years, and the amount of more finds I've had, you can't even compare. I mean, we've had about 15 more hammers off the same field where we didn't have any with the previous machine. So I think for the price and what you get in the package, it's you can't complain. It's a brilliant machine. Well, I'm biased, so
And obviously here and at Detectable, yourself and other members of Team Routers will be able to go through the settings, show people what's going on, and talk more about the Routers. And if people don't know because there's been people today who've never heard of it, so yeah. You're able to introduce the Routers.
Yeah, we're all I think there's about 4 of us. We're all wearing black hoodies with big old Routers Team Experts writing on the back. So yeah, if anyone wants to come and just have a look at the machine, I can lend mine out for the day. It's not a problem. But yeah, it's a pretty simple machine to get going though, so you can just turn it on and go. But yeah, if anyone wants settings described to them, yeah, feel free.
And personally, I'm hoping Viola brings me a tent size, one of them beautiful hoodies that you've got.
What size are you? You can have mine.
I'm a bit too big for that. Niall, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming
Cheers,
on,
Dave,
and I'm
yeah.
going to go round and chat to another few people.
Yeah, nice one. See you later.
Take care. So that was Niall from Team Routers. As I said, I must apologise because the broadcast earlier, we did have some technical difficulties, as I'm sure you've heard, so we're hoping this is a little bit better now. A gentleman I spoke to earlier had a really good chat with, and unfortunately I wasn't able to hear it properly, was John Rigby, who is the membership secretary for the National Council for Metal Detecting. John, how are you?
All right, how are you, Dave? Oh.
I'm sorry to have this conversation with you again, John, but it all went Pete Tong earlier on.
I believe so, yeah.
So, the National Council for Metal Detecting is basically, most people think of as insurance, but it's a lot more than that. You do a lot for the hobby in the country.
We do, yes. We go to national meetings. We sit on the Portable Antiquities Advisory Group. We go to the Receiver of Rex is one of the ones we do, and of course SARA, which is the Sports and Recreation Alliance.
John, I've just had the thumbs up from Luke, and it seems that this recording is actually working correctly, so thanks for that. Anyway, so what else can you tell us about the NCMD? How many years has it been in existence, for instance?
Right, well, we've been going now just under 40 years. In fact, 40 years anniversary will be next year. And as I say, we are hoping to have some kind of anniversary do, but we're not sure on what we could do yet, whether it be a big conference or something for our members. But with the amount of members that we've got, it'd have to be something big.
It certainly would, and obviously ourselves, we'd like to speak to people from the NCMD more so in the future on the podcast, and also in the magazine we're able to promote the NCMD and everything they do for us as much as we can.
Yes, one of the reasons there's not a lot of news coming out at the moment because of other governmental things that's going on, and the idea behind our magazine, which was Digging Deep, was primarily to put stuff in that doesn't normally go into the treasure hunting search magazines, the sort of political side of it, the side that we go to the meetings and tell people about what's happening within the DCMS and things like that. So the idea behind Digging Deep, but because of the way the government is at the moment, and we all know what's going on, there is nothing coming out, so there's no news at all. So to have a couple of pages or a news and views type letter that would go into an existing magazine would be nice. So
it certainly would. Now, something I'd like to clear up, we spoke on a podcast a while ago to a member of the NCMD, and we discussed membership for people from foreign climates. Just to confirm exactly what's with that, can you tell us a bit more about people coming from abroad and membership in the NCMD?
Yes, a few years back, it was mainly for people that lived in the UK, the membership. But I did arrange with our insurers that because of the way that the bigger rallies go on, that there are people that come from abroad that would like to have NCMD membership stroke insurance. So I arranged with the insurers that if they made themselves members of the NCMD, they would be insured whilst on UK soil, but the insurance wouldn't cover them in their own countries.
Marvellous. So the future's bright for the NCMD. We all are going to do as much as we can to advertise the council, and as much as we can to help people with giving the information to them. So John, it's been a pleasure. Sorry to accost you twice in one day, or it might even be 3 times by now.
Yeah, that's no problem. As I say, I'm always a bit nervous about doing these sort of things, but you've put my mind at rest, so I'm quite happy to do it now.
And finally, for people who do want to learn more about the National Council for Metal Detecting, how can they find out more?
Yes, you go online, you can go to www.ncmd.co.uk, and if you do require membership, if you click on the Union Jack, you can, that's to cover the whole of the UK, as does the Scotland one as well, but the Scottish are mainly for their own region.
John, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again, and I will see you this evening.
Yes, you will. Okay, thanks, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks, John. So, John Rigby from the National Council for Metal Detecting, and I don't think people actually realise how important the NCMD are and how much they actually do for metal detecting in the UK, and how much they have done in the past. I'm on my walks now, on my travels. Now, who do I accost first? Do I accost Mr. Richard Lincoln? No, I'm getting pointed toward Julian. Julian, this is Julian Evanhart, from the editor for the Treasure Hunting magazine. Now, Evan, it's the second time I've been to see him today, and we'll probably have exactly the same conversation again. But
brilliant.
Due to technical difficulties and mistakes on my behalf, we're back in a better position now. So, Julian, how are you today?
Yeah, not so bad as a matter of fact. Really enjoying the event. It's good weather. Finds cabinets filling up. What more can you ask for?
Alcohol.
No comment, but well, I can't really not comment. Come on, over a full
Well,
pint.
you can't. Give me a full pint of water.
Yeah, alcohol is always a handy little accoutrement to such social festivities. But no, it's really absolutely brilliant. It's lovely to see so much money being made for the charitable cause which is allocated this year, which is basically the foundation of this event, and is it's a real honour to be involved with that.
It certainly is. The weather's good. You've been out and about in the fields taking photographs.
I certainly have, yeah. I think today, or to the exact time, I am on about 375 to 420 photographs I've taken so far. So I've got a little bit of screening to do when I get home, but have got some, amongst that are some really, really nice photos, and all of those will be available on a wide variety of websites for everyone who's here to have a look at and see if I've actually captured them.
So if you aren't following Treasure Hunting magazine on any of the social media accounts, you will also find up here, we do share regularly Treasure Hunting magazine information via the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine social media accounts as well. So keep an eye out for that. Julian, it's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Totally the same, mate. I'd just like to say, all the best for your publication. You guys are a real seriously nice bunch of guys, and it's for me, very proud to be associated with you. So keep on the good work, guys.
And that's the second time today you said that, and
Yeah,
I'm going to have to obviously slip him some money. Thank you, Julian Evanhart. And I'm sure you'll be hearing more from him on the podcast. Now I'm racing along the stall. Now, let me just tell you a bit more about Treasure Hunting magazine. Obviously, it's a periodical magazine, monthly magazine, but it's also associated with Greenlight Publishing, and Greenlight Publishing are probably one of the biggest producers of books related to metal detecting in the UK. For instance, last Christmas, Finds Identified came out, and wow, what a book that! It's an illustrated guide to metal detecting and archaeological finds in the UK, but they also do other things: advanced detecting, coin books, artifacts, site research, tokens and tallies, artifacts from Britain, medieval coinage, treasure hoards, which looks a fantastic book, which I'm going to have a look at. And if you are here this weekend at the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally, there is a 25% off on all books that you'd normally see. So, one set of books is the Gordon Bailey's Detector Finds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and conglomerately you can buy all 7 books for £60 this weekend, which is an absolute bargain. So as I say, if you are here, come down and have a look. You can't miss it. The banner's massive, and obviously have a look at the books. Now, here I am next to Mr. Richard Lincoln, who can't get away with me as he's cornered. Very, very much cornered. He can't get the other way because Julian's in the way, and Julian will trip him up for me. He's trying to go under the table, so I'll just kick him. Richard Lincoln, he's another member, an expert team of routers. Richard, brother, how are you?
Hello, Dave. I'm absolutely fine, mate.
Are you having a good weekend?
So far, yes. I got here about 10:30 last night. Within about 30 seconds, I had a beer thrust into my hand, which was a terrible, terrible thing. Been out this morning, found a few tokens, wandered around the fields, found a few bits out the fields, nothing exciting. But yeah, the sun's out, the sky's blue, the beer's cold.
So are you.
And you're gorgeous and everything.
I think Richard may have had one or two many.
I've had one beer.
One beer.
One beer, mate.
One beer, and that's obviously messing with his medication. So, Richard, it's been a pleasure. Team Brutus, you're here, and tell us a bit about what you will be doing with Team Brutus, both this week and next week at Detectival.
Well, next week we've got the stand. Next week we'll be on there, so anybody can come up to the stand. They can see us, talk to us about the machine. We'll show them the machine. I'm going to try and see if we can get a couple of loaners as well, so people can actually take them out in the field, give them a try out. Basically, we'll need some form of ID that we can keep, and we'll swap you your ID for the machine just to make sure you bring the machine back. But that's touch and go whether that's going to happen. We'll also be out in the field. We'll be wearing the t-shirts with the team design on the back, so people will be able to identify us, come up to us, ask us about the machine. We'll show you the machine. You know, it's what it's about. It's to educate people that the Rootus is there, and it's a damn good machine, and it's really, really easy to use.
Now, one other thing that you haven't mentioned is the Rootus app.
That's because I only found out about the app yesterday. Seriously, I know nothing about it.
The Rootus app is obviously, if you Google Rootus app, you will probably find that you'll be able to download it straight to your phone. It introduces members of the team, introduces Rootus finds on the machine itself, and shares different settings from people within the Rootus team.
Right. So this will be the thing they sent out to us saying, give us your settings, tell us about yourself. That's what they've used it for.
So there you go. People are getting instructed and taught things in the field. I'm actually instructing Richard about the app, so I'll show you that later, Richard.
Yeah, that'd be great, mate. The thing is, I'm all about the detecting. I'm not about the apps and the websites and the technology. Get out there, give me a machine that I can just get out there, use, and not have to fuss about with. I did say fuss then.
You did?
Yeah. That's where I'm happiest. There's other people involved with doing the apps, doing the website, and that's what they get on with.
So, as I say, have a look at the Rootus app if you're interested, and I'm sure you'll go far there with Rootus. So, Richard, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
As always, Dave.
So, again, I'm walking around accosting people. I think Mr. Blackwell's next to me, Mr. Gary Blackwell. He could say a quick hello, I'm sure, but we'll hopefully have him as a guest tomorrow where he can speak a little bit more.
Hello Dave, how are you doing? All right, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, Gary. It's a fantastic day, and hopefully the weather's fine, people are finding things. How are you finding the weekend?
Oh, I just love this event because it's all going to charity, it's all going to a good cause, and it's great to see detectorists just coming together just for the one cause. You know, there's no machine bashing, my machine's better than yours. We're just one big family, and do you know what? That's brilliant. Really.
It certainly is. Gary's from XP. I'm sure they've got lots lined up in the future. At the moment, Gary, where can you find more about XP?
Just go on to the XP website, xpmetaldetectors.com. We've got our own ORX group, which, as you know, Kev Whitmore runs that, so that's the XP UK site there. With the videos on the YouTube channel, we've just released a new ORX YouTube video. That was Friday, so there's plenty of information. Just do a Google search and have a mooch around.
So that's Gary Blackwell from XP. As I say, there's also people who don't know who are interested in the XP or use the XP. Gary's got a skills school as well, so that's available for people to learn more about how to use the XP, Gary.
Absolutely, yeah. We've not done a skills school for a little while, but we're planning some in the very near future. It's where you come to a classroom for a morning, we talk about XP products and how to get the best out of them. We have some lunch, and then after lunch we go out in the field and put it all to practice. Absolutely perfect. What more can you ask? That's Gary, Gary Blackwell. Thank you very much, Gary. He's on his way doing little videos. Now, I spoke to another lady earlier on, and unfortunately I'm going to have to accost her again because we had a few technical difficulties.
Oh, did we? Oh, no.
So, this is a lady from the Royal United Hospitals, Bath, who part of the funds that are being raised today and the funds from last year, from the first Rodney Cook Memorial Rally, they were raised for the hospital.
Yeah, for the new cancer centre that's going to be built starting in January of next year. So at the moment, patients are seen in the 1940s buildings. So it's to build a breast cancer centre, which will benefit patients and their families.
That sounds fantastic. Obviously, personally, my mum passed away last year of cancer. Totally understandable, and anything to do with raising money for charities for cancer is definitely something big behind. And if you're listening and you would like to donate, you can make a difference by Googling or going onto the Just Giving site and looking for the Rodney Cook Memorial Metal Detecting Rally, etc., and you'll find out more details. And please, for a fantastic cause, please donate.
Yep, donate.
Thank you very much. I'm looking at your colleagues here laughing at you.
That's my husband there.
That's your husband.
Yeah.
Your husband, dear.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all very much, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And I do hope similar, if not more, money's raised for the fantastic cause this weekend. Thank you very much. So that's me walking around again. Luke's lined up some more guests. Now, we did earlier on have a chat with Dud, who's manning the table. Some of the fantastic finds that have been brought up from Roman buckles, Roman brooches, medieval hammered coins, absolutely all sorts. Now, I think probably one of the most important people at Rally today is Gary Cook, and Luke's just accosted him for me. So, Gary, a few words from yourself about the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely fine. It's going amazingly. It's much more than I could ever imagine, to be honest with you. It's absolutely incredible. We've had lots of hammered coins found today. We've had Roman coins. Apparently there's a gold half noble wandering around on site somewhere. It's not been brought back to the finds cabinet yet, but it's definitely out there. Roman brooches. We're on course to hit a good amount again this year, an amazing amount of money. We've got to beat 28,000 from last year, and it looks like we're going to do it. It's just we've been lucky with the weather. No rain today, no rain tomorrow apparently, touch wood. Live band tonight. Everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. 850 acres of land, and tomorrow's fields, we've saved the best till last. So yeah, right next to a Saxon church, and we've got some good land tomorrow. So
that's fantastic. Well, Gary, this has only been a brief one in passing. Hopefully we'll speak to you at length tomorrow. Yeah. And obviously all luck. And from me again, I'll say it again, Just Giving, and look for the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally.
Yeah, Just Giving, search Rodney Cook and it will pop up. You can also go on to the Forever Friends appeal, Forever Friends of RUH Cancer Care Unit appeal on Just Giving. They have a separate page as well, so that's two different ways that you can donate if you want to donate online. Please donate as much as you can. I'm doing my Bob Geldof impression there, I'm sorry, but you know, the more you give, the more it makes a difference to people. And what people don't realise about the Rodney Cook Rally is it is the only rally in the history of metal detecting that has ever raised that amount of money in one weekend. No other rally has ever raised that amount of money ever, and it's a completely non-profit making rally. Every single penny we raise goes to cancer care and children's leukemia, and bring it on for next year. That's all I can tell you, because we're going to be even bigger next year. We're going to have at least 1,000 people coming next year. We've got a lot of land and we've got a fantastic area, so if you didn't make it this year, there's going to be tickets on sale very, very soon for Rodney Cook 2020.
And as well as all that, you've been at the signing table today.
Yeah, oh dear me. Somebody's had the magazine and they said, can you sign it for me please? And next thing I knew, there's people asking me to sign it. It's very humbling. I'm just a mediocre metal detectorist. I'm not famous, but people were asking me if I could sign the magazine, so I duly obliged. But hey, you know.
Gary, you may be a mediocre metal detectorist, but at the end of the day, you're somebody who is doing a lot for charity, and that is something to be very proud of.
Yeah, Mum's here. My mum's here. She's finding it a little bit overwhelming. It's 2 years next week that we lost Dad to cancer, and it's such an evil disease, and so many of you out there will be touched by cancer. God forbid you don't. So many of you know someone who has, or has family members who has, and you know what? The more we can give, the more people it will make a difference to, and that is what the Rodney Cook Rally is all about. It takes you back to the old days. A good mate of mine, Gary Blackwell, told me that it reminds him of the old rallies where there was no my detector's better than your detector. It's camaraderie, it's detectorists having fun, enjoying a weekend away finding some good things and just basically having a great time. And that is what this rally is all about. We're not associated with any particular brand of metal detector. We don't care what you got. We don't care if you've got a £10 machine or a £50,000 machine. The Weekender is for everyone involved in metal detecting to come together and try and do something good for the hobby. Try and do something to show the world that metal detectorists sometimes get a bad reputation, or we're given a bad reputation. This is a way of showing that actually we can raise 30,000 quid in one weekend for cancer care. Come on, how does it get any better than that, really?
Gary, it's a privilege to be a part of this, of making history, and as ever, we will support as much as we can. It's a pleasure to see you, it's a pleasure to speak to you, and we hope the rest of the weekend is as good as today.
Yeah, we'll have another chat tomorrow if I'm not asleep. I probably had 4 hours sleep in 4 days, but you know what? Who cares? That's what it's all about this weekend. And thanks for coming, Dave, and to you and Luke for doing what you did with the magazine. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant. You know, I'm so pleased with the way it's come out, and next year let's do it all again.
Would love to, can't wait. Gary, thank you very much, have a great weekend, and pick your hats up you just dropped. So that's Gary Cook. We've had Gary Brackwell. I think I'm just going to pop over to see Mr. Tyrrell as well. I don't think Pete actually realises that the technical difficulties that we had earlier, so I apologise for accosting you again, Pete.
That's fine, I do know about technical difficulties, and have you explained why you had them?
Yes, to a degree. Not the 100% degree where the microphone was actually turned off, but yes, a 20-minute, 30-minute episode of the podcast with no microphone, so I apologise for that profusely. How's your weekend going, Pete?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, busy. Yeah, good bunch of people, good fields, good finds coming up as well. So yeah, so far so good. How about you?
Fantastic. Tired, but fantastic. It's been nice to meet so many people who I've not met before, and so many people who I've spoken to and never seen.
No, it has been a good weekend, because these sorts of events with this many people, there's a lot of people you only see on Facebook or over the phone email, so it's nice to put faces to names and catch up, and yeah, it's good. Love it.
And next weekend's the big one.
Yeah, next weekend. God, yeah. Feels like it's been in planning for 6 months and now it's upon us. But yeah, I love the Technical. Yeah, big event. Lots of French, Belgian, Americans, a bit of a mix of everything. So yeah, looking forward to that.
And sadly last year got me on stage. This year I need a backing track, but if you need me there, I'm there obviously. But seriously detectable, another big event, massive amount of land, massive amount of traders, manufacturers, etc. there, and it's looking like a fantastic one again.
Yeah, absolutely, and everyone's excited for it because it is that one big event every year where everyone gets together and all around the fire pit of an evening. And yeah, okay, it's great having the detecting, but more than that is for making those new friendships, catching up with people. It's a good laugh.
It is, as a community. I met a lot of people last year who I've kept in touch with. Some are here today, and yourself, that's the first time I met you last year and the second time today.
Yeah, there you go. We've got to stop meeting in fields in Oxfordshire and Gloucestershire.
Pete Tyrrell from Leisure Promotions, it's been a pleasure as always.
No, and you, Dave. Have a great rest of your day.
And you. Thank you very much, Pete. So that's the launch of the big metal detecting podcast. We do have a lot coming up, and I mean, we do have the big archaeology podcast as well, where we'll be speaking to people from the archaeological domain. Also, we have big ArchMD Mag specials, which will include some things from pseudo-archaeology, which some people might not find interesting. Others will, obviously. You know, we're trying to put as much information as we can out there. And we also now have access to something quite exciting, and we will be obviously speaking about that more in the coming months and weeks. I'm going to leave you now with another track, Detectorist track, and I'll speak to you soon.